Hello everyone, I hope I have got this around the right way. It's doing silly things tonight. I hope you can see me. Let's see. Alright. Oops. We had a false start initially. Oh, we're facing the wrong way. Let me see if I can turn this around. Okay, is that better? Hi everyone, sorry, I don't know what my my iPhone is doing, but it's going wobbly today, so hello everyone. Let's just see who we've got watching me tonight. Hello Glenda, hello Kim, lovely to see you. I'm sorry we've got a turnabout camera tonight, but we'll have to persevere with that. Okay. Right. Hope everyone is having a fabulous week so far. I'm having a great week. Is it cold up there, Glenda? Hope not. My mum's at Barham Heads and she said it was a little bit nippy up there when you got in the wind. But, oh, hi Jodie, thanks for dropping by. I wonder if I can raise my camera up a little bit. Sorry. I was messing around doing, I don't even know what I was doing, and I looked at the time and went, oh goodness, I've got to be on my Facebook Live now. But anyway, so I hope you're not going to get seasick here, but let's see if that's a bit better. Oh, I'm glad to hear you crafting along at home, Jodie. That's really good. Let's see if we can straighten this up. We're all crooked all over the place, aren't we? All right. And my phone kept losing charge today, so I have no clue what's going on. It's not a good technology day. All right, but it's plugged in, so hopefully we'll be right. Oh, you got a big brown box today. Well, I only got a little brown box. Look at how small it is. Look, that's how small it is. Oh, you're making crafty notebooks for the knitting group. Ah. What about you, Kim? Are you crafting or are you stocking up your new little fridge? All right. Okay, so I thought this little brown box came today. So I thought we'd unpack it. Oh, you love any brown box. Really little. I do like this tape. I wish we could buy this tape. I love it. Anyway, let's have a look. It is very little. All right, but it's still got goodies in it. I have taken the yucky stuff out. Now, these I'm really, really excited about. These are scoring blades for your paper trimmer. So I've had a few people who have lost them. So these are available on the in the online extras on my Stampin Up store. And so if you lose them, you've got two. I'm excited about those. Next thing I'm super excited about is I've got my Lemon Lolly re-inker, and last week you might remember I accidentally inked my Lemon Lolly ink pad with Daffodil Delight, and I had to wash it out. So I washed it all out like that. And so I'm going to show you quickly how to re-ink that tonight, because some people don't know. What else is in our box? Now, this is such a cute little stamp set. Well, I've got the bundle, so it's an online extra that was released last week on the 6th, and it arrived today. And it's got a truck punch and a little photopolymer stamp set. So we'll be playing with that tonight after I show you a couple of things. And this last item in the box is radiating dies. Let's open these. Hands aren't working today. Oh, feeling really hot up here. Oh. I haven't had to have the heater on, but this room that I'm in, it gets the afternoon sun, so it's really lovely in winter, not in summer. So these are radiating stitches dies. So they're basically frames with little cuts in them. So there's a heart, there's 2 circles, there's 1, 2, 3. What are they? Rectangles or frames. So I'm sure these are going to get lots of work. So I really like them. Yeah. Have I asked if I can buy it? What is that? Kim, have I asked if I can buy it? I'm not quite sure. I missed. Hi, Renee. Lovely to see you there. Oh, the tape. No, I haven't asked. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. So make sure you tell me where you're watching from, Renee, because I'm in sunny Queensland, Australia, or Brisbane, Australia. So we're in the middle of winter. I get a few people watching from New Zealand and from the United States. So, let's just move all this up. And sorry again about my camera being the wrong way. I don't know why. It's one of those things. Anyway, so I've had, last week when I sent out my newsletter, I had lots of replies. My newsletter was titled Ask Me Anything, and so I had lots of replies. Oh, you're from Queensland too? Fabulous, Renee. Welcome. Is this your first crafty chat? I think maybe. I'm sorry. Sorry if you've been on before and I can't remember. I have got a memory like a sieve. Anyway, so my what do you call it? My newsletter went out and I asked people to ask me what their issues are. So with paper crafting, and one of the things that came up all the time was color coordination. So the answer, how do you coordinate colors, is a little bit different depending on where you're starting. So if you're starting with Stampin' Up paper, so pattern paper, it's pretty easy in that you can look at the pattern paper, Stampin' Up pattern paper, and it tells you all the colours on the pack of what you're going to use. If you're starting with a stamp set like this one, this was the new one that I got today and just unboxed it, it can be a little bit more difficult. Hey Megan, lovely to see you. All right, so the little bit more difficult. So I have got a little tip for you, which I've used for years and years and years. So when I get a new piece of cardstock, a new colour, I cut out a square of the cardstock which is 7 centimetres by 7 centimetres, and I put the name on it. And then, so these are all the current colours, and some of them are pretty well used, and I just keep them aside. Like, these are all the retired colours that I own. I just keep them though. I have to store those a bit better. And so when I want to know what goes together, say for example, I know that tonight I want to make a truck, and I know that I want to make a truck for a girlfriend of mine who likes pink. And so I know that I'm going to, and I haven't put the name of this one on, I'm going to use the Bubble Bath Pink. All right, so that's my first colour that I'm starting with. All right, I've even got my labels printed. So I've got all my labels printed, ready to put on. I just haven't put them on yet. So I know that now, so I probably would do the pink for the body. I also know that we'll need an outline. So I don't want to do a black outline. So what's close to black that might work? So I could use an early espresso, or I might use, these used to be on a board at one point, okay? Or I might use a basic grey, or I might use another pink, like a Blackberry Bliss, right? So I'm thinking that I'm going to go for my chocolate, all right? So someone asked me to specifically show how I go about it, choosing colours. All right, so we know that our truck is going to be early espresso, and if I had chocolate chip, I would have done that. Yes, we could use Night of Navy. Don't really mess up my system, Megan. I didn't bring Night of Navy up here, but yeah, you could use Night of Navy. But for me, I'm still sticking with that early espresso, okay? So you could use whatever colour you like, you know. You could use a different colour brown altogether. All right. Now, look, it's a bit, Steve, we need an ink pad. No, so the easiest thing to do, and this is from a few years ago, is actually put them on one of these hooks, and then you can just take them off, right? So I've got a couple of sets. These are from 2018, 2020, so that's when this one was done. And I think my upline did them for our team, so, and they're a bit smaller. So, all right, so then I think, well, I need a background. I'm really thinking that she likes the beach, and she likes those sort of beachy colours. So what beachy colours do I have? Watery colours. And I've already played with this, so I've already got it in my mind what I want. And so you get those sort of blues and go, okay, what goes with it? I like, and sorry, this is a bit dirty because it's really old. I like those two colours with it. All right. You might think, oh, that's horrible, Chrissy. All right. But it's my choice, so here we go. So yeah, then we're going to put those other blues to one side. And then I think, oh, she likes flowers. So these are sunflowers. So I want a yellow and I want some green for the leaves. So I've got 3 yellows here. I think the crushed curry is too dark. That's just my preference. And the daffodil, probably the lemon lolly is too light. That's, oh, you remember those? That's really great, Kim. Oh. All right. Yeah. Steve's watching some sort of sport. There's always sport on in our house at night when Steve's watching TV. Oh, he might be watching MasterChef or The Project or something. Okay, so we need a green that goes with that. See, this one's lemon lime twist. When it came out the first time, I kept it, and it had little embellishments on it. So let's see what sort of green we might have. Do we want lemon lime twist, parakeet party, granny apple green, old olive, mossy meadow? I'm leaning towards the lemon lime twist. I do know that my daffodil is a bit faded. Oh, we've got some other greens as well, soft sea foam. So it's just a matter of laying out your colours and going, well, which ones do I like best? And like I think these tones all blend in together. So I think you couldn't possibly go wrong if you had one of those 3 shades, because they've got they've actually got a yellow undertone to them. Whereas this has more of a blue undertone to it. Okay, so this is how I start. All right, and it doesn't take long. Like if you're prepping a card base, just oh, you wanted an ink pad instead of a refill. Oh, okay, that's no good. All right, so we're gonna go. I'm going to go with the lemon lime twist. Okay. I've got the Lost Lagoon up here as well. I bought the ink pad up just in case. And I'll explain why in a minute. Okay, so there are our starting colours. So I'll put the other ones to one side, and you don't have to have 6 colours. You could just take away the pool party, and that's still a nice colour combination. You could just have 4 colours. But I was thinking about, well, what am I using it for? I'm using it for this truck and for these flowers. So I need to have stuff that blends in together. I know that daffodil and early espresso go together. So that's sort of the way that that's how I start. And also, you've got to know who you're crafting for. Like if you, are crafting for a girl, she might think, oh, well, they like pinks or they like blues, or just have a think about what, if you're crafting for someone in particular, what they might be, might like. Okay. All right. So that's my little tip. So these squares again are 7 centimetres by 7 centimetres. The people who subscribe to my newsletter, you will be getting a PDF file with all the little labels, and so you can print out some. You can either print them out on a clear label, or you could print them out on some white cardstock and just cut them up, and you can stick them on. So if you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll get that this week. Just a little tool to say thanks and for subscribing. All right. Okay. So I showed you when I opened my box that I got my ink pad that I accidentally re-inked with, sorry, I got my ink refill for my lemon lolly. I'm a bit all over the place today, so please forgive me. And I'd accidentally re-inked my ink pad with Daffodil Delight, so I popped it under the laundry tap and rinsed out all of the, it's still got a little bit of ink left in it, but I rinsed out all of the Daffodil Delight. So some people don't know, well, first of all, they don't know how to open an ink pad, so we'll just recap that again. The new ink pads, you open it like a makeup compact. So you've got this little thing near the front. You pop your both thumbs at the back, it clicks up. And if it doesn't go smoothly, get a chapstick or a candle, wax candle, and rub it along the sides, all right? And that'll help you smooth it out. All right. So I've got my ink refill. Oh, I don't think you're supposed to shake them up, but I do. Oh, did I drop out? Sorry. Okay. So we're just going to, first up, I just run a little bit of ink down one side, down the other side, and across the middle, and just a little bit like that. Then you can do this one of two ways. You can use the top of your ink bottle to rub it in, and I haven't got nearly enough in there, right? It's going to be quite dry. Just rub it in gently. Like, these ink pads take a lot of ink, so yeah. And you want to make sure you go right to the edges, but don't go off the edges like I just did there. Okay, right to the very edge. Okay. All right. Oh, you've just re-inked your white pad, Kim. That's good. You have to re-ink those every time you use it. So I've got this palette knife. It's from the annual catalogue. You could use a plastic spoon. And so all you do is you just gently massage it in. And then you let it sit for a while. So I know that I haven't got it even yet. So where you can see where it's going into the ink pad. Now you don't want to use anything sharp, just be really gentle, because if, like, I have gouged bits out of my ink pad with my nails, I'm going to add a little bit to these spots where I know I haven't got enough. All right. And you just let it sort of sit for a while. All right. I don't advise re-inking your ink pad right before you're going to use it. Won't give you the best results. So I'm just going to go back and forth that way. All right. And then I'm going to go back and forth this way. Just pushing it gently but firmly, if that makes sense. And you're pushing it in. Okay. And then I'm going to close this one up and just let it sit for a while. Okay. And then I'll be able to see if I've used enough. All right. You might even just let it sit when it's open for a few minutes, like 5 minutes or something. But I don't want to mix this up with my other colour, so I'm just closing it up. And because it's a water-based ink, unlike the white ink pad, you can just really easily wipe your palette knife. And my palette knife is filthy because I use it for all sorts of things. So, all right. So that's easy enough. We've done that. It's like putting butter on bread, yes. So Kim, you said you're not sure you've used enough ink on your white. So I would ink it up, let it sit open for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then have a practice stamp, right? The white one, because it's a craft ink, it is a little bit different, but it's still worth doing. All right, so let's get started with our card. Oh, if you're following my blog, I've got a new blog post up today about cleaning blocks and cleaning the photopolymer stamps. Because you know how these photopolymer stamps, sometimes they don't stick to your block, they just fall off because maybe you've got embossing powder or you've used baby wipes on them. Oh, hi Cheryl. Lovely to see you. You're up late in New Zealand. So yeah, so we've got these, so I've got some tips about how to stop them from falling off your blocks. And that's over on my blog, thecreativeeclectic.com. So that went live earlier today, I think 6 o'clock this morning it went live. Alright, let's see if I can find my craft map. No, goodness me. Alright, so I've got my base card. I'm doing a white base card today. I'm taking a leaf out of Vicky's book. I've got 2 pieces of coloured cardstock, and I've got a piece of watercolour paper, and a piece, well, I did have some pieces of white somewhere on my desk. Oh, here we go, and a scrap of pink. So I've got a few things happening, going on. So my card base is basically a half an A4 sheet. Well, mine's a little bit smaller than half an A4. It's 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. Oh, sorry, 8 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored at 4 inches. So I'm going to cut down my first 2 layers. So normally I have everything cut. But, you know, today is just one of those days. I want to cut my piece of watercolour paper because I'm doing a watercolour background. I want to get that started. But I've got my paper trimmer. Now, so when you get your paper, your new scoring blades that I said they were in my big little brown box, get your labeler out and write on them that they're a scoring blade, and write on the other one that it's a cutting blade. You will really thank me for that. Trust me. All right, so I'm going to cut my first layer at 3 7/8. I'm going to turn it around and do it at 5 5/8. Okay. Then I've got a piece of Pool Party. I must have stood on that or something. It's got dirt on it. I'm going to blame Delphi for that. She's such a silly dog. She's trying to take my socks off today. All day she's been getting the toes of my socks and trying to take them off. So this one is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm doing them 7/8, 7-inch layers. Right. And then my piece of watercolor paper. Let's see. I'm going to make that another 1/4 inch. So what did we say? That was 3 3/4. Let's see how it goes if I go 3 1/2. Will that work? Oh, I need to be a little bit smaller, a little bit narrower. So I'm going to go 3 3/8, or about 8 1/2 centimeters. I probably need to change the blade on my cutting blade. All right, so we've got our layers. Let's do our background first. Got a piece of messy scratch paper, I think. Use my piece of messy scratch paper for this. I've already stamped on it a billion times. So, remember a couple of weeks ago we made a background with our blocks? You might not remember if you weren't here. You might have watched it on replay. So, I've got my water spray bottle. Yes, I know it's a big one. And I'm just going to lightly spray my my watercolor paper. Now, watercolor paper is designed not to buckle, allegedly. If you make it too wet, of course, it's going to buckle. All right, so I've just spread that spray water around with my fingers. We want to sort of make a bit of an obscure background. So I've got some Pool Party. I'm going to do like a bit of an ombre background. So I'm just using my block. So this is obviously one of the blocks that I haven't yet cleaned. I'm just going to pop it on. Now, if you don't want to do it while it's wet, you can just turn it over, press it down, make it less wet. All right. And do it that way, okay? So I've got ink directly on the block. So this is not a direct to paper technique, but a block to paper technique, really. I don't know what it's called. Now I've got my Coastal Cabana. And I'm just wiping off my block. So, is everyone having a great week? Did everyone have a lovely weekend? That's probably the more important thing. Oh, goodness. I've got lots of people watching tonight. Oh, Megan, did you see your friends on TV wearing their tutus at the Big Red Bash? And did they do the Tina Turner Nutbush so I'm just putting a whole heap of colour on. If you didn't want to use your blocks, you could like dip your ink on your paper. All right. It's sort of a bit of an ombre effect. And I am going to use, and it sounds a bit weird, but I am going to use some Lost Lagoon. Not too much. Actually, we'll put a bit more Coastal Cabana on first. And you'll see I'm going from the lighter. I started this technique with my lighter colours rather than my darker colours. Okay. Just wipe off my my block. Oh, you didn't see them on TV. Oh, Jodie, I'm sorry it's taking so long to get quotes, but let me tell you, it's worth the wait. So we had a friend of ours, his neighbour is a builder, right? And we need to get a pergola built outside our dining room. So this builder, who is the most lovely guy, he came round the week between Christmas and New Year, right? So today we got our quote, but it was just a text, but he sent. So there's nothing in writing other than a text. I don't have the plans. I have nothing, right? So when you think your quotes are taking too long, Jodie, yeah, that's a long, long time. So now I'm just going to spray it. Okay, and as the water digs in, you get this sort of, I still want some of the sort of colours to blend together, but it will sort of, it will work. It's sort of like a bit grungy. I'm really going back into my grungy stage again. So yes, so I got my quote after waiting 7 months. No, I wasn't livid because he does a really, really good job, and he like, he's meticulous, and it's also a lot cheaper than if we went through someone else. So yeah, but it has been, and it took for one of our friends to go over every half hour yesterday and go, have you done that quote yet? Have you done that quote yet? They live across the road. So yes, and I would have been quite okay if he had said, no, I'm not going to do the quote. But yeah, it was sort of a bit, yeah, it was a bit funny. Oh, your roof has a tarp on it. Well, yes, my car. I'm still without a car. Well, it went in to get fixed, Megan, and last Thursday, and I'm just going to put this over here, and I'm going to keep stamping while I'm talking. Yes, it went in to get fixed last Thursday, and on the way home, Steve was driving through the Gabba, and he it was going kangarooing, and so he wasn't very happy, and it stalled at the Gabba. This was after we got charged $1,000, so yes, and so it goes back in tomorrow. Oh, and then he thought, oh, maybe it's just him, because, you know, I don't know how it could just be him, but I thought that was, maybe he was he wasn't driving it right or something, and they replaced the battery, and they said, yeah, it's just the battery. And Sunday night, oh, we were at the Gabba again. Maybe it's something to do with the Gabba. And it stalled. Luckily, when it didn't. Yeah, it stalled. It stopped at the light just before we got to the light, so we could cruise to the lights. And yes, $1,000 later. So Steve rang up yesterday and it's going back in tomorrow. And they better not charge me anything for it because I'm not happy. So I've got coffee, cake and cards tomorrow, so I had to ask for one of the ladies who's going to come pick me up. She doesn't live very far away, like just a couple of streets away, but it's very, very inconvenient. All right, so we've stamped our truck in early espresso. So when you finish your stamping, just make sure you close it off. What I didn't do is I didn't bring up a colour for the wheels, but we'll make do. I'm going to use, you might see the top of my head when I do this next bit. I'm going to do my colour. So, sorry, I just got to take the jumper off. That's better. I didn't want to expire on you or faint or something. All right. Now, I don't have, normally you would have a foam mat underneath your stamping. I don't have that. So I might not get the perfect results that I'm after. Now, we're only making one card tonight because I did a bit of an unboxing and we did some colour work. So let's just ink this up. Let's see. Hoping you're not seeing my grey hairs. It's not too bad. Oh, a little bit out. Let's just see if we can fix that at all. Not completely awful. Yeah, it'll be okay when I punch it out. So I did bring up because I don't have an early espresso blends, and I don't know if they have early espresso ones, but I don't have them. If they do, I bought up some of these. These are the darks of the skin tones, so I bought those two up, and I thought they might be okay for attire. So I'm going to go with the 100. And just because it's a really dark brown. I would normally use basic grey or basic black. Oh, I've got ink all over me. Move that to one side. All right. Well, it's went to yours, your car went to... Oh, you've got a week and a half to... Oh, Jodie, it took... So before we went away, we tried to book it in for a service. So that was before the beginning of June. And Volvo itself said, no, we can't do a service until the 2nd of July. So we got it serviced by somebody else. But that means all your maps and everything aren't updated, but that's okay. And then when we came back and we're having all that trouble with it and we couldn't get it in until the 6th of July, so it just takes forever. But it's amazing that when they were supposed to have fixed it and they didn't, how quickly they can get it back in. All right, let's just use our little punch. Now this has got bits for the wheels and bits for the windows and bits for the hubs, but I'm not doing any of those. And as I said, I'm doing a feminine card because girls like cars too, and trucks and stuff. My sister-in-law in America, she used to have a truck. It's awesome. All right, so we've got this little bit. I'll just put that over to one side. I'll just actually see if I can plug this in again. All right, are we all still with me? Oh, we got 7 people watching, that's good. Oh, you just got a text saying your car's due for a service. Well, yes. Yeah. I know that it takes a long time. Like some people, you can't get it in for months and months and months. All right. So I'm going to do my flowers. And these are sunflowers, but I'm not going to do 2-step stamping. I am just going to stamp them in the espresso ink, and then I should have thought this through. It involves fussy cutting. Stamp them in some espresso ink, and then colour them with my stamping blends. And I've lost a block. I think I'm losing the plot tonight. Go. I'll just use this block. And I'm not real happy with part of my background, so I'm going to fix that in a moment. So I'm just going to use the same piece of scrap paper. I didn't think this fussy cutting thing through. But anyway, I've got my early espresso. And I'm going to say that this little truck has got white wall tyres. That's what I'm going to say. Because a lot of them in that vintage do. I'm just going to stamp these little flowers. And you could stamp them in memento ink, but I haven't used black, so I'm sticking. When you book yours in for the next service when I'm picking it up from its service. It's just Tad. That's a good idea, Glenda. I didn't think about that, but we normally get it serviced before we do our road trip to with the car club in June. All right. So I've got some Daffodil Delight. Okay. I'm just going to colour the car just in the dark. I'm just pressing it. I'm not even really worrying that it's messy colouring. I want it to be a bit messy. And I'm hoping you're not seeing my head. because you really don't want to see my hair at the moment. Yeah. So I'm really excited for tomorrow. We've got coffee, cake and cards tomorrow, and we're trialling a new venue, Joe & Co.'s at Drew Vale near the Audi Shopping Centre. Well, it's in the Audi Shopping Centre on the corner of Bay Desert Road and Lewina Street. So opposite the entrance to Algester Road. And it should be good. I'm a little worried that it might be a bit cold because we have to be outside. But you know what? Well, all we can do is trial it because the sports club's not going to be available until October, which is a bit of a shame. All right, I'm just going to put some random bits of green through there. So it looks like there's more flowers in there than there actually is. All right. And I'm using the light one. I'm not even really worried too much. So I use the dark daffodil and the light lemon lime twist. Okay. Yes. I'm really excited about that tomorrow, and we've got a big group coming. There it is. All right, I'll just put my stamps on my block so I can know that I need to clean those afterwards. All right. Okay. So when you're fussy cutting, you just make sure so I'm not worried about taking that big piece of white off the bottom because I'm going to tuck that into the back of the ute or the truck, whatever you like to call it. And I'm leaving just being quite, and what you could do is if you wanted to have a little white outline, you could wipe off your stamp, lay it on the top and draw a pencil mark around it, and that'll give you a guide mark. But I don't think we really need to do that. I'll just do it really roughly and quickly. It's been a long day. Yeah, so, yeah. It's been a beautiful day. The weather here was gorgeous, although it was a bit cold last night. And but last night was the first night for a week that Delphi got off the bed during the middle of the night. But I think it's because Steve was snoring. And it was really, really loud. I was tempted to smother it with a pillow. I mean, block out the snoring with a pillow. I would never smother him. He's such a good man. So, yeah. Yeah, we just do have to rug up and drink more coffee. Although, I've had to reduce the amount of coffee that I drink because I like quite sweet coffee, and I've had to not have as much because when you put sugar in your coffee, and I don't like sweetener, so it's sort of really saccharine. I'm just going to do the inside of the wheel hub as well. I know generally they're not we could put we can put some bling on the inside of the wheel hub. Right. Now, so we've got our flowers, we've got our truck. Let's grab a sentiment. I'm going to go, oh, it's got a road bit here too. I'm going to go special delivery, sending you, no, special delivery. Okay. Yes, Puppy sleeps on our bed, Megan. She's not a dog, she's a human. Or so she thinks. She's supposed, have you ever seen that skit that the Kiwi dad does about, that's a Facebook video or YouTube video about owning a dog, and so yeah, it's definitely going to be an outside dog, and then yeah, it's just going to be on the wood floors, not on the carpet, and then a little while later, yeah, I've got it, it's on the carpet next to the couch. And then the dog goes on the couch, and then it's like, oh, no, he gets a bed next to the couch for it, and then the dog's on the couch, and yeah, but it's still definitely an outside dog, yeah. Well, that's our dog. But she's very beautiful. And yesterday, because we play hide and seek when I'm making the bed, and I didn't yesterday, but when Steve was up having a shower, she came up and she just got under the covers like she was hiding from him, but she hasn't worked out that when you hide you've got to keep still. So her head's under the covers and she's moving, and it's very, very cute. And then she managed to keep still, but her tail was, and I don't know why I stamped that in pink, so I'm just going to turn it over to the magical other side, and we're going to stamp it in espresso. Yeah, so our dog is supposed to be an outside dog. It took 9 months till she actually made her way into our bed. Like, she used to sleep in the laundry every night, and then it got really cold in her first, when she was about almost 1, and Steve goes, oh, she's got to come up into our room. And there's only been once that she made a mess, and it was so bad we had to replace all the carpet. So, but once in 12 years isn't too bad. Or 13 years isn't too bad. So, okay, so we've got our sentiment. I'll cut that out in a second. Let's go back to this thing, and it's not quite worked how I wanted it. So what I'm going to do, get my block again. And I'm going to get my Coastal Cabana ink. And I'm going to ink half of my block with Coastal Cabana. Actually, I could ink the whole block, it doesn't matter. Alright, I'm using a long block this time. And then I'm going to grab my Lost Lagoon. Ink the other half of the block. Spray it with a little bit of water. And spray my card again. And then just quickly flip it over and sort of wriggle it. Can you see what I'm doing there? It's a bit dark, isn't it? Let's move it up a bit. All right. Move that way. Well, it's okay. I don't mind that it's sort of rusticy looking. I want it to be Really shouldn't use my fingers for this. I sort of want it to be a bit blotchy. Right. Okay. And I can always cut that bit off or put some ribbon around there or something. I'll work out something with it. But I'm committed, okay? Alright, I'll get my heat tool. Now it'll just take a minute to dry this off. And plug it in. Sorry. Sorry, my big fat arm in the way. Sorry about that. And it's definitely going to have bling. Alright, so just pretend I'm singing or something. Tonight, I think might be a long story, or it might be a friendly society school thingy, or some sort of swimming or something. I can't remember. Just picking up the bits. Not reasonably dry. And when it starts to curl, you turn it over and you go from the back. Not too bad. Not exactly what I thought it would look like, but Tuesday nights is my experimenting night. Or as Jodie likes to say, my winging at night. Alright, that's not too bad. So, let's start putting it together. I need to decide whether or not I'm going to use that pool party, and I've decided I'm not going to. I think that that would be enough. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, so yeah, I think Vicky's, I don't know her routine, so, but it might be a long story, or it might be that she's got something else happening. I hope she's got a note why she didn't turn up. My mum always says that if I don't turn up to it, it's just something, it's like, well, do you have a note? Like, no, I don't think I need a note. I'm a grown adult. And if I haven't, like, I ring, my mum's away at the moment, and when she's home, I ring her every day. I don't know what's going on here. And if I don't ring her every day, and then, like, if I miss a day, and she'll go, well, what was wrong? Why didn't you ring me? And, like, well, I'm the only child that rings you every day. I generally don't ring her on weekends because I like to be with Steve on weekends, but yeah. So that's my base. That doesn't look too bad, actually. So that sort of looks like a bit like a road. And we'll see what... I'll pop this on here. It'll work much better on plain cardstock, hopefully. Yeah. I do need to watch Vicky's video on how to use the Seal Plus, because I'm really haven't mastered it. So my friend who I'm making this for, although she likes pink, she's a bit of a grungy girl, so that's why I was going for a grungy sort of a background. So the more water you add, the less sort of textured look it is. So there we go. So we've got that. Not blended tonight either. All right. So we'll just pop our little car down there. I have got some, now these are cut off from the, these are out of one of the kits. So these are the adhesive strips. And I just happen to have those. Now these are much thicker than normal dimensionals, all right? So if you've got different layers of two different layers, you can use these adhesive strips to get a bit more depth, all right? So you use adhesive strips for one layer and what are those things? Yes, one layer and dimensionals for the other layer. Now remember I said I didn't cut that little bit off because that's where I'm going to put a little car. Now that this is dry, I also want to put my road. So we better stamp our road before we I'm taking forever tonight, I'm so sorry. I'll stamp my road before we get too carried away. And it's just with a bit of early espresso. You can hear Steve in the kitchen. He's probably looking for a snack. Oh, there we go. On a hill. Now you could use this stamp to go round, like make like a border around your special delivery if you wanted to. Oops, I need another bit of that up the top. And yes, we're definitely having bling on this one. Now you might wish to colour the windscreen and the back window in maybe a light smoky slate or a what's the other colour? Maybe pool party. That would look really good. All right. So I've got my dimensional. And that'll just sit underneath. So you can see that it doesn't, it gives it like a bit more depth because it's thinner. Oh, can't really see. There we go. All right, so we need some bling. We need to put our sentiment on. Thinking I'm going to cut my special delivery. Got some lovely shiny bling here. Oh, that's not very straight. Oh, goodness, what was I thinking? Let's see if that's a bit better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I want to leave enough room on my special delivery because I've got some ribbon. And I think, and this will be like a matter of trialing it. So we've got some of this pink ribbon. Let's see. Oops, you know what I didn't do? I didn't take the backing off one of the pieces. Let's just put that off. Put that back on there. Pop it down a bit better. And if that's not completely dry, it's not going to stick as well. So, all right. I think that this will go over here. I'll put that on our adhesive strips as well. I'm going to do, find the end of my ribbon. I've got a glue dot. Okay, got a glue dot. I've got lots of glue dots, it's all unravelled. Do a glue dot. I should take my pick tool, but anyway. I'm going to put 2 glue dots on here. Has anyone read any good books lately? I'm looking for a book to take to Las Vegas when I go to Vegas, because I'll have my iPad, but well, maybe if it lasts that long, and but I like to take a real book for on the plane. A bit more bling on, more adhesive on here. Alright, take these bits off. Now I spend all my time when I'm not crafting and doing housework and boring stuff, spend a lot of my time reading. All right, so we've got some bling. Now this is the tinsel gems, and I think these are really pretty. That's a bit blotchy there. We'll put one up there. Let's just go nuts with the gems. Yes, I should be using my take my pick tool, but you know, that's scissors are right here. Put this bling up here. Put 2 bits of bling down the bottom here. 5 bits of bling. Oh, goodness. Extravagance. All right. That don't look too bad. All right. So let's try a little bow. So I've got my little 10-second bow maker. The best invest $10 US I ever spent. No, 10? Yeah, 10. Plus the flight to get to Texas, but hey, that's a whole other thing. And it's just awesome. Perfect bows. Cut those little bits off. A little bit off there. And we're just going to pop that up there. Alright, so it's a bit of a different card tonight. It's sort of grungy and but feminine, and what do we think? So it's my first play with the Trucking Along bundle, and I'm thinking that's going to get a lot of use. Look, you can use it for Christmas and holidays and birthdays, and very cute. So there we go. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you love it. I had to think on my feet. I didn't really have any clue except for what colours that I might want to use. So as we talked about in the beginning of our Facebook Live tonight, we've got our colour combinations. We've got some Coastal Cabana, Pool Party, Bubble Bath, Early Espresso, Lemon Lime Twist, Daffodil Delight, and where did I put it? Where did I put it? I have some Lost Lagoon as well, and it disappeared. Oh, there we go. So this is a really easy way. Cutting these 7 centimetre squares or 2 3/4 inch squares is a really easy way to see how your colours work together. And even though that's quite a bright colour and those two are more subdued, when you add the water to it, in the watercolouring, it tones it down. So that's a really nice way to do that. We've got our Pool Party and our Lemon Lime Twist for our, Daffodil and Lemon Lime Twist for our flowers. And we've got our espresso, or close enough to the espresso, and the bubble bath for our car. So next time you're cutting some of your card stock for card bases or layers, cut yourself some 7 centimetre, or even make it 3 inches if that's easier for you, or 2.5 inches, whatever's easiest. Put them all on a little jump ring like this, and then you can take them off. And so those of you, as I said, if you subscribe to my mailing list, you're going to get these labels this week, so you'll be able to label them all. And if I'm feeling particularly energetic, I might do some of the old colours as well. We'll see how we go. All right, everyone, have a really great week. Don't forget it's bonus days this month. So for every $90 you spend in July, you get a voucher for $9 to spend in August. So the new mini catalogue is coming out in September. So if you're a demo, you can use it towards your pre-order. And I think that's everything from me tonight. Have a really great night and great rest of the week. Stay safe and well. And we shall see you next week for some more mystery stamping. And if you are on my Facebook page, make sure that you answer yesterday's question about what your crafting struggles are, because I want to hear from you. So thank you. Thanks for watching, Helen. I didn't see you come on. Sorry. Everyone have a fabulous week. Bye for now, and happy creating.